Hi folks, Rick Pacine from RGPC.com coming to you today to do a demo video on the HP MV100 all-in-one printer. And I just want to explain something to you guys. If this is the first time coming to my YouTube channel on this particular case, the eBay listing, I do these demo videos, sneak peek videos, and intro videos to give the potential buyer an overview of what they'll be getting, to point out any flaws or any discrepancies that may be within the item I'm selling, whether it be scratch, damage, parts not working, foot parts are not working, and so on. So without any further ado, let me go over and talk about the printer. The question here it is over here. I'm going to move my webcam down here so you can see it. Kind of a heavy printer, to be honest with you. And don't mind the dirty rag I got here. Not a dirty rag, but I got a rag here so I don't scratch my desk. That was from a little printed little ink thing I had yesterday going on. What you see here is the papers that I have here. The overall condition of the printer is in very clean condition with some minor light wear on it. Okay, it is an all-in-one, and I have another piece of paper here which I forgot to take out from yesterday. Okay, we'll leave that there for now. The printer, if you buy this printer, you're going to need cartridges. Okay, and the cartridges, it takes two cartridges. You can't see when you open it up here. Just open it up there. There's two cartridges that over here, and they have the numbers on them here. The ink cartridges, I guess the black one I think is the number 60 cartridge, and the other one, the color one, is the CN519A cartridge. You'll need to replace those. The overall condition of the printer inside and out is clean. Okay, you can see it. I don't know if you can't see it from the video, but it is very clean inside. Outside of a little dust here and there. Here you have your, I don't know if this printer is a duplex on here. I don't think it is a full duplex. It may be. But if you do have a jam within the printer, there's nothing in the back to take it out. It's done through the lid. You would have to open up the lid to get out the paper jam if it was to get locked, get jammed in here. Getting in here is a little tricky, so just make sure you take your time doing it. And make sure you lock it. When you remove any paper, and you got to push these two clips in, lift up and pull out. When you're changing your cartridges, of course, when you power on the unit, the print head carriage will retract to here, and then you can take it out. You can remove the cartridges. Again, it only takes the two. Like your unconventional, the conventional HP printers, which I have, takes the 4 cartridges: the black, magenta, yellow, and cyan. This one here has the all-in-one. I guess in here all 3 colors fit in this purple one here, and then you get the one black toner ink cartridge. It is a flatbed scanner. It is manual, of course. You have to do a 1-to-1 sheet on here. You place it on here on the flatbed, and then you would close it, and so on. I have the cables right over here. I am including with it a USB printer cable that connects to it, and of course it does come with the power cord. The only thing I want to tell you about this printer before I power it up and just go a little demo with you, this here is all motorized driven. Okay, so if you get it, maybe I'll put a little piece of paper over here. Please do not pull up on it because it is motorized driven. You can see it's got gears inside there. Because if you do this, you might strip the gears, and of course the gears, the thing that works it is all plastic. So don't pull on it if you can. When you power it up, hold your finger on the button so you see a little light blink in there, and it'll retract automatically. It pops up like that. When the printer does print, an arm comes out, it slides out, it retracts. Again, that's motor driven, so be careful with it. The only thing I will say with this here, and I'm not going to pull any punches and try to mask the problem. Apparently, on occasion, the arm will get stuck coming out. Sometimes you have to assist it. Now, I don't know if it's because the printer's been laying around. I don't know if it has a weak motor drive on it there, where maybe that's why it's doing that there. I don't know. But if you're a person that's mechanically inclined, you want to look into it. Maybe you might need a little lubrication there to make it come out. I don't know. But that's why I'm pointing these out to you ahead of time. I'm going to power up the printer. Like I said, I like to do live demos. In regards, excuse me, folks. In regards to the ink, I tried to do a test page on it to print out more, and this is the only thing that came out of it, and I will send this to you. The ink, I believe, is dried out. I know on here it shows you that it does have ink in there when you look at the ink levels. Believe me, it's 2 cartridges. You might want to check into getting, definitely buy new cartridges for it if you are the potential buyer of this printer. I took a colorful sheet here to do a scan here. Right now I can only do a scan. I can't do any copy features with it, unfortunately, because of the situation with the ink. However, I will, go over that with you. Okay, so now without further ado, I'm going to turn the printer around this way. I'm going to install the power cord and the USB printer cable. Okay. And I like to do these live, folks, just to give the potential buyer a little insight as to what they're getting, to let you know that it does work. And that's why I do these videos. Okay. Now the USB connects right over here, this part here. Okay, it connects in there, and your power cord connects to the opposite side, of course. And I have an extension cord over here by my desk here, so I keep it here when I'm doing live demos. I don't keep it all the time there because there's no need for me to keep a live extension cord there. So I'll just plug this in over here like this, and I will plug this in here. Let that hang over there. Let this hang over here. I am using, just for let you folks know, I am using a Windows 10 64-bit operating system here. So this does work on a Windows 10 operating system, just to let you know. Okay, I'm going to turn it around over here. Move my camera over there. I'll just turn it this way so you can see what's going on. I would like to do this another way, but I don't have a long enough thing on my desk. Like I said, I like to do it here because this is where my webcam is, folks. Okay, when you're turning it on, folks, just remember when you hit this button, wait for the light to come on. Well, you can't see it there, but it's like it blinks very light, very faint light. It'll retract open here. You get the HP logo that comes on. This screen is all touch screen. Okay, there's no keypad on or anything like that. It's all done by touch. I think the screen displays probably around maybe 3 inches, if I'm not mistaken. I would think, let me just see if I got a ruler over here. I would think it's about 3 inches. I don't want to get too close. I want to scratch it. But yeah, it's roughly about 3 inches, the screen. Whoops. Yeah, so it's roughly 3 inches. You can see how I was talking about how it retracts and it goes down again. Well, it retracts up and then it goes back down again. Right now it's going through, I guess, initialization of it. Okay, you hear the little audible tone. Okay, and now you got your screen. You can move it across here. This does have Wi-Fi. It is connected to my Wi-Fi. That's why I'm able to show you these things here. If I click on certain things like the HP thing here, it'll bring you to another window. It says web service enabled. This feature, you got to go to web enable. All right, it is connected to my Wi-Fi. It does have a Wi-Fi setting here. When you click on the button here, it says loading. It says network, tools, and preferences. So you go to network, okay, and it says wireless connection, wireless setup wizard. You would click that on there. The light comes on here, it turns to red. Now it says searching for the wireless router. I'm working off the Verizon. I have Fios in here, so it will search my Fios, and it shows it right over here. That's one of the ones that came up. There's other ones in the area that it'll pick up, but you need to have their passcode. So I put mine in there, and I will take it out when I sell it. All right, now it's asking for the code again. Apparently, it must have, when I pulled the plug, it probably, erased it. But it would ask for the code, and you would put the code in here. A nice size keypad. You can see everything. Unlike the Brothers, where you had to keep clicking to get each number. Like if this was an A, you got to go. You got to keep clicking until you get the A, or if it's a B or a C, you got to keep clicking. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. This one here, you could do the numerics if you need it. Nice size display, considering it's 3 inches in length. But again, you can scroll up here, you can scroll down. These are all the optimum pass points in here. You got Optivision. Let's see, you got direct cable. You got a whole bunch of them. Again, these are people in the surrounding area, so I can't access them because I don't have their pass keys, and I shouldn't have their pass keys to get in there. So without that, we'll back out of it. We'll back out of this here. Okay, we'll go back to the main window. Okay. All right. Now, the only thing I could do for you guys is to show you that without. Let me just do this here. Oh, now I'm shutting it down. I accidentally touched it. Very sensitive, by the way. You can see it's retracting back down again. That's okay. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to. I'm going to right-click over here. I want to just show you the system it's working on. That it is on a Windows system, just so you guys know for yourself. Okay, and to prove to you that it is on a Windows operating system. Here it is, Windows 10. You can see it here. It's on mine. I have an HP Pavilion, and it's a computer right there. And you can see it's on Windows 10. Now, without further ado, go back over here. Windows 10 does recognize the printer because here it is right over here. Here's the HP Envy D410 series. Okay, it's already connected to it, so there's already installed. Now what I'm going to do is just to show you. Like I said, I can't do a print copy. This is what came out when I did do a print copy. I'm not going to keep doing it because now the other one, I think all the ink had dried out. So I did it a couple times, and you know, unless there's still ink in it, I tried cleaning the print heads, you know, the cartridges and stuff like that too. But there's not enough ink in there. But this is what did come out of this printer. Okay, this did come out of this printer here, just to let you know. That's why I saved it. Okay. Now we'll do the scan feature. I'll show you how that works really quick. Let me turn it back on again so we get to work. And of course, you put it this way. You put it this way here, like that. Close it up. And we're going to do it. You're seeing this is a split screen here. We're screen sharing, so you're going to see how I do it. Okay. You notice this turned dark before. When a print is powered off, it goes light. As you can see here, it's grayed out. But you can see this it was grayed out, and now it's dark here. And it's a little icon, same printer that you see here. I'm just waiting for it to initialize again. Okay, just gotta be careful working over here. I don't bang into that thing. Now you notice the little arm retracted in and out. Okay, sometimes that arm gets stuck. Now it will print. This thing will print. Like I said, it will. But the thing is, if you do have a situation where you are printing something and the paper doesn't come out, the arm doesn't retract, you can still print with it. It all depends. Maybe, like I said again, it may need to be, maybe it may need lubrication there. I don't like to play around with things. Like I said, I don't stick my hands in things where I don't belong, you know, I don't know too much about. So you might want to check into that for yourself. Anyway, going back to the scan situation, I'm going to right click here. I'm going to go to Start Scan. And I use Microsoft Picture Express, folks, just to let you know that's how I view my pictures here. When you go over here, you see the window here. It says Scan HP Envy 100, which is what we're using. We're going to do it off the flatbed because we don't have an auto dock feeder. So, of course, you're going to do it that way. So we're going to hit the Scan button. You could also do a preview, too, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You could preview it. Okay. And this will give you an idea what's going on. It says over here, you can't see it on there, but it says now scanning. You can see I already gave a preview. It was pretty quick. Okay, you see it over there? It came up that pretty quick. Okay, now I'm going to do the actual scan because, you know, you're previewing it. You want to see what it looks like. Let's do the actual scan. Okay, as you can see on the screen, it says scanning the page. It's not bad. Again, it also depends on your file type and the resolution. Now, if this was higher than 300, I think it's 300 DPI. Let's see. Oh, I can't move it around just yet. We'll see what happens here. If it's higher than the DPI, if it's higher than 300, it's going to take a lot longer to scan, to be honest with you. If you're doing like a 1200 DPI, something like that, it's going to take a long time to scan it. Okay, so now when you click Next and you click Import, Microsoft Picture Express should pop up here. So when you click on this when you click on this little icon here of the scanned photo, see Microsoft Picture. That's what I use to do all my editing on my photos. So it comes up. Okay. Sorry about the delay, folks. I have a couple windows running in the background there. Okay. Now, you can see it here. I don't know why it came up like this. This came up a little light for some reason. I just want to, you know what? I want to redo this one over again. I don't like the way it came out a little grayed out. The other day when I tested it out, it was a lot better. Let me delete this and redo it again. It could be the way I have the settings in here. So let me go back to the thing over here. Let me click over here. Scan settings, scan profiles. I want to see something. I'm just curious myself, folks. The brightness and contrast. Maybe the contrast was off on it. I don't know. I know I had a little brighter than that there. Let me just bump this up a little here. I might have played around with the settings yesterday. You could do the same thing, folks. We're not going to do a preview. We're just going to scan it now. Okay. So you could do the contrast. If it does come out not to your liking, you could adjust the brightness and contrast. That's why they give you the little slide bars there with that. Sometimes it may, you know, I had a setting where it's too light for whatever reason. The contrast might have been too light. Because the other day I did, it came out really dark. Let's see what happens now. Okay. That was probably my fault, the way I set it up. Let's see what happens now. Because it should be a lot darker, I would think. Okay, it looks darker here, but let's see how Picture Express brings it up. Okay, that's much better, folks. I'm going to take the photo out. Well, actually, the advertisement out. I'm going to show you. and there you go. It's the same thing. This one shows a little darker. I could probably make the contrast, play around the contrast a little better, make it sit with the full settings, but that's how it came out. As you can see, it does a nice scan. It's pretty clear, the resolution on it. It's only 300 DPIs too, mind you. Now, there is a setting here. Let me back out of this, but you can see it does pretty good, to be honest with you. Okay, I'm going to back out of this here. I'm going to delete this here. Delete this here, and I just want to give you a little overview on something here. When you do a start scan, if you want scan to to look good, you could also add the up. Now this here, as you remember, I changed it before, and you could see it defaulted back to the contrast to 100 minus whatever. So, but the thing is now, this goes up to 1200. Now, if you did this at a 1200 resolution DPI here, it's going to take a long time to print. So I'm not going to waste too much of your time. But if you have a little situation where the brightness is too dark or too light, whatever, you could slide these up and make them back and forth. If you want it to be really high brighted, brightness to be high, you could do that there. You could also do the preview scan. It's grayed out. You can't click it on, so you'd have to do it here for some reason. Okay, but you can see the scan feature does work on this printer. Okay, now enough with that part. A lot of people might ask me, what do you do about the, let me see here, let me just go back out of that there for a second. Let me just go back over here. Okay, it's shutting down. Okay, I must have touched something there. I want to show you something too about that too. I want to show you when I do make a printout. I think I have paper in the paper tray here. Let's see over here. Yeah, I do have paper. Well, this is used paper because I was running a couple of test sheets. That's why it looks a little dingy like that. I'm going to show you what happens with the retractor. Don't mind the paper here. I didn't want to waste paper, so I kept using the same paper over and over again. When you're testing these things out, you want to make sure, they somewhat operational. For the most part, they are. When I get them, I try to make sure they're in clean condition and are functional. Unfortunately, I can't do the copy thing there, but I want to show you something here. Let me power it back on again. And I'm going to do a print page. It's going to come out blank, folks, so just keep that in mind. It will come out blank. Okay. The ink probably dried up in there. This is the wrong one. I don't want this one. I want the other one right here. Print the properties. I think that's the one I want. And I'm going to talk. I want to show you what I'm talking about in regards to the retractable arm popping out. It slides out. Sometimes it doesn't go in. There was a case, though, folks, I'm not going to lie, where the arm didn't retract. That arm that you just see popped out there, it didn't come out. And let me tell you, if it does get stuck, and this is closing, don't worry, it will retract back up again. I guess HP knew something like that would happen. If it gets stuck, don't get alarmed. Don't sit there try to force it in. What'll happen is it'll close on it, and it might even do it during this live demo, and it'll retract back up again. And what you would do is just gently push it back. That's the only fault I found with this print as far as that part goes. So you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's go here without further ado. Let's do a print test page. Okay, just got to give it a little time to go. Okay, it says now printing. See over here, it didn't come out all the way. Sometimes what happens, it'll say something's jamming in there, but it ain't. It'll retract, then it'll go back, and then it opens up again. That's the point I'm trying to bring out with this printer. Everything else is functional in here. All right, see, now it popped out normal. You're seeing a live video. You're seeing it popped out. Sometimes there's nothing that's going to print out here, folks, because I said, again, the ink is dry. But the purpose of me doing this test was to show you that gets stuck. Now, after it's finished, it should retract. You'll get a message over here saying to enable output tray, the extender, remove properly, remove anything that might be in the way. There's nothing in the way of it, but when you do it, now look, see how it goes up? It'll go back down again. So you don't have to panic and say, oh my God, it's going to snap it. It won't. What you would have to do is just give it kind of like a light little push here, or if not, sometimes you got to just play around with it. I don't know why it does that. For the most part, it doesn't always do it. Let's see what happens again here when I try another. Sometimes what will happen is it'll just stay in that position, fixed position like that. Okay, now it's going to close up and it's going to go back out again. I don't know what happened. Like I said, I don't know if there's something in here. Sometimes you got to assist it. You might have to assist it too sometimes, but you don't want to force it. Okay, see, and now it goes back. See what I'm saying? That's the only fault that I have with this printer. So if you are the buyer of this printer and you get it and you say, you know, I got the printer, but that arm doesn't retract back and forth right. before you make, if you could live with it and you want to buy it and keep it, that's fine. But you know, I just want to keep that. I just want you to keep that in mind prior to making any bids or anything like that. There, you're gonna have to play around with it for some reason. I don't know. It might be, again, if that happens, don't get panicky about it. It will retract. In some cases, it'll just stay like this here. You know. But I know you probably say, well, I want a functional printer that's gonna be 100%. I would like it to be 100%. Again, I don't know if the drive motor in there needs to be lubricated. I don't know if the motor is weak. I looked in here underneath it a couple times, and I didn't see anything that was causing, you know, for it to jam up. There's no paper jam in there and stuff like that. So I don't know. It could be something minor. It could be something other than that. I don't know. But that's what we got going on here. So if you are the buyer of this printer, just keep that in mind. This retractable arm does get stuck sometimes. And sometimes you could just force, you know, not force it, but it's gear driven. You won't break it, I don't think. You could just push it in like that if you need be, you know, if it gets like that. Now, the printer may have been sitting around for a while. Maybe if it gets a lot of usage, maybe it'll clear itself out. I don't know. I'm not a printer technician, so I can't tell you why it does that, you know. But that's what's going on. If we do another print page, test page, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's funny because sometimes it retracts out and sometimes it don't. Okay. So now it's saying printing here. Okay. Now, in some cases, you might get an error like that there where it'll say it's not going to print. That's because the retractable arm ain't coming out. Okay. It says remove anything might be in the way, and of course there is nothing in the way of it. Oh wait, actually there is some. Hold on, folks. Let me see. That's why I like to do live videos. You know, in a way, it's good that this is actually happening here. So now you know in the future if something does get jammed in here, you would do is you go into this, you would lift this up, like I said earlier, and it might be in here. Sometimes it could be the transport wheels too that could be dirty too in there. Like, you know, maybe they're not clean good enough and it can't pull out all the way. So what you do is just very gently in a situation like that, just back out the paper. And you know what I think that is too, folks? I think it's because I was using recycled paper over and over again to test it out. It normally didn't do that the last couple of times I did it. If you put fresh paper in it, you shouldn't have that problem. So let's try it again here. This time it was right. So I'm glad that happened in a way because now you've seen how you would correct that problem. Okay, and remember you got to push these two clips in. Okay, you close your lid down like that. Okay, all right, you take that over there, press the X. Okay. I don't think there's any paper in there. Let me see if it is saying it's printing. It says now printing. I don't know. I don't think so. Unless I think all the paper came out. Let's see what happens, folks. Right now it's saying now printing, but let's see what happens here. I'm going to cancel it out for a second. I want to see something here. I'm just curious to see myself. Maybe there's no paper in there. You know, that will happen if you use recycled paper, which is what I'm doing. So I'm going to take this recycled paper I did up here. These are kind of like, these sheets are kind of a little grungy for me, so I'm not going to keep them in there. And these are pretty clean pieces right here, as you can see. So let's try it again with the clean paper, see what happens. You know, that's the thing. You know, when you test these things out, if you keep using the same paper over and over again, you might tend to have a problem like that. So let's try it again here. Let's see if I can get over here. It's canceling. Let's cancel this out here. We'll close that. All right. Let's see what happens here. All right, still saying it's canceling out. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Because I don't want to take too much time, I'm just going to plug it really quick to let it recycle itself up because it's sitting there too long in there. So we're going to plug it back in again, and we'll do that there. You'll get a little prompt, as you can see here. You're seeing the same thing. It says error test printing like that there. Okay, so now it's going to restart again. It'll probably retract, close up, and go back down again. I'll have to probably power it back on again. Okay. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. It's probably going to retract back down again and then stay in a closed position until I power it back on again. But just keep that in mind, folks, that if you do buy this printer, that's the only fault I found with it. It's a solid printer. I believe this is to be glass. And it's a very heavy printer, to be honest with you. For a slimline printer, I don't know. I would say it's about maybe 2.5 inches, like that. It's very sleek printer, very narrow. You know, let's see. All right. Well, roughly it's about 3 inches. Looking at it's probably about 3 inches in width. You know, the length is another story, but like in width, it's like 3 inches. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, it's saying the same thing. Remove anything. There's nothing in there unless something else got jammed in there. Let's see. No, there's nothing in there. Okay, so let's see what happens here. All right. It says now printing. Let's see what happens here. I don't really want to take too much of your time because I want to also go over about the software. But that's basically the issue we have over here right now with this part, as far as that part goes. But you know what? Moving on, I think you see what I'm talking about the arm retracting in and out where it comes in, and sometimes it gets stuck. But that's the only thing. If you're a person that's handy with the printer, maybe you might need a lubricant on there. Maybe I don't know. I'm not a printer technician, so you might want to consider, take that note though. I mean, just keep that in your mind that that is the situation going on. You know what? I'm not going to hold too much. I don't want to take too much of your time with that there, so I'm going to unplug it right now because there's nothing printing on there. I didn't click the print page, but as you can see, that's the situation going on. Let's move on now. As far as that part goes, you can see it does connect to the printer. It does connect to the Windows 10 operating system. All right. Now, sometimes a question comes up, oh, how do I get software for this in order to make it function? What I did is I went to Google. I typed in HP Envy software. And when you get to that one, look for the one that says support. Go to this one right here, all-in-one HP Envy, all-in-one, and you click this on. Excuse me. And it'll bring you to this window here. And as you can see, here's the printer right here. Here's a little mock-up of it right here, the HP printer. Okay, that's it. This is what you see here. Now, people say, well, I need software. You click this button here, go directly to software drivers. Okay. All right. So there's nothing there, so I don't know why it's doing that there. Move the display. All right, now printing, I don't know, there's nothing there. Anyway, what you would do is you click on here, and you'll see, it'll say download. What you do is you click this one here, HP Envy All-in-One Printer Series, D10 full feature software and driver. You would click this one on here. And that's basically all you have to do. That's all you have to do with this here. And if you need to read manuals and stuff like that, they have other stuff here too. You got utility diagnostic tools you could do. You could also got videos here, related videos to read all about it if you want. If you need to read about the manuals, and I think if I'm not mistaken, this one should have it on here, if I'm not mistaken, where you could read the manual on it. This does not come with any software, any manuals, so just keep the original packaging or software. Here on that same window, you could use here's the product information. You would click that on here, and then it'll probably bring up a category that you want to check out. You would click that on product, warranty, compatibility. The user guides, you can click on for the user guides here. And you would have the user guide reference right here. You could click this one, which is 4.8 megabytes. And it usually, 9 out of 10, it's always going to be the PDF files. So if you don't have Adobe, you could try download it and take it that way. Let's see. And it's usually 64 pages. And again, you could read all about it. You could read all about the printer. Here it is. It tells you right here. So you never have to worry about having no documentations with the printer. And people may say, well, what am I supposed to do? Print out 64 pages? And no, you don't have to print out 64 pages. As I said in my other videos, you would go to a specific category or content that you're looking for, and you would print out those specific pages, pages that you need. Like one here, if you wanted to say clean the print carriage, you would click on that one there. It'll bring you to here, to this window here. And what you would do is you look how many pages it is, how far it goes. Let's say it goes from page 43 up here to I don't know, 45. I'm just using it as an example. So what you would do is you would go here. Okay, that's the one you want. So 43 to 45. And you do is you go to File, you go to Print Preview, and don't get nervous, folks. It's not going to print the whole thing unless you actually print. It's just preparing it. So what you would do is go over here then. You know what pages it was. It was from 43 to 45. We're just using it as an for example. You would click on print. Now, again, don't get nervous. You're not going to print all 64 pages. Okay. What you do is you go here. Say this is all. You go here to all pages. Take this out. Okay. And you put down here page 43. You take this one out to 45. And then you would click this. That's the only pages that will print. It will just be those printed. Just those pages. Okay. So basically, that's how you would work with that there as far as in regards to printing pages out. You don't have to print the whole thing out. That's what I would do. I mean, if you're a person that likes to have documentation or a specific item that you need to read about, it's easy enough to do that. Now, in regards to cartridges, I found it to be very inexpensive for these type of cartridges. Just moving back down to eBay. All right, this is here. I'm just going to type in over here HP Envy cartridges, right? HP Envy 100A, well, 100 inch cartridges, ink cartridges. And they're pretty, I find them to be very inexpensive. So me personally, I think so. I don't think they're expensive at all. I mean, if you buy them branded, most of the cartridges you see are branded ones. This is probably no doubt not branded. Now you can see they range from here $14. You get a two-pack. You get a two-pack black and a color ink cartridge set for the HP Envy all in one. There's different price points here. This one for $13. This one here was $14.88. This one's for $13.94. Here's another one here for $11 and change. Fast and free shipping. Okay, so you search around, and this one here, I mean, to be honest with you, if I was going to buy this printer and I needed cartridges, I'd probably buy from him. I mean, $11 and change with free shipping. Let's see what he's got to offer. Let's see. I always like to check out the seller's feedbacks and stuff like that, see why. This is not too bad. He's 99.4%. In fact, I dealt with this person before, and they're not bad. Dilla or whatever, one. I dealt with them before. I bought cartridges, and I'll tell you the truth, I was pretty happy with them as well. I had no problem with them, so I did buy from this guy as well. He's good, and again, he's got 60 people watching. He sold 215 of them. He's got 9 inquiries, fast and free. If you were to buy this printer today, as I say in my other videos, I did another video with another printer, a brother printer I have listed. If you were to buy this printer today, let's say you said, well, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna buy. I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. But if you were going to buy this printer and you said, well, I'm going to buy it. I know it needs cartridges. I guess that's what the seller said, needs cartridges. I'm going to order them. So if you were to buy this printer today and you had this guy or you went searching stuff like that and you see he's got a delivery date for May 23rd, usually these printers I sell, they always usually go out with priority mail. So hopefully you'll get it within 2 to 3 days, depending on weather or whatever goes on with that part. You would have them both at the same time. When you get your print card, if you do get the cartridges, just make sure you clean the contacts in the back of the print carriage head. Just clean with a light alcohol or whatever on a nice soft rag. Make sure it's clean. And just make sure you take off the removable tape that's on the print cartridge. When you get them, they got to be installed. You don't want no, because I do that there for the leakage and stuff. And that's basically what you'd have to do. Overall, folks, the printer is in good condition. Like I said, you've seen it tested. I did the scan on it. I showed you how when the copy comes out about the retractor on. So keep that in your mind about what the retractor that pops out. You may have to push it. You may now, if you do get this printer and you're not too concerned, you're concerned with that. You say, well, I don't want to keep going through it every time I print. That's another story. If you could live with it, that's fine. Me, I have no problem with it. Like I said, if I'm running a lot of stuff with it, I don't know again why that arm gets stuck. I try to look in there to see if there's any obstructions. Maybe there's an oversight on my part. As I said earlier, I'm not a printer technician. I don't know. But the overall condition of the printer is clean. It is a very clean condition, and it is a good printer. It even has a little slot over here for your cards here. Like if you got a little micro card, you can't sit on it, you can see it, but it has a little thing for your micro cards here, and it's got a USB connector right here. So you can connect the USB in here, and if you got those micro cards, I guess we got for pictures, whatever, you can put that in there. This is, for what I understand, an all-in-one printer. It does have the faxing probabilities, and that you can fax with it. And that's basically it. I don't know what else I can tell you about it, folks. You could read up more about this printer. And, whatever you need, if you need any information, please don't hesitate to contact me at rjpacini@verizon.net. The arm just retracted, now it just went back in. It's kind of like spoofy. I don't know why it does that there. It might be because the only thing I can think of now, it keeps going back and forth, which is good. I'm glad to see that. It's retracting back and forth, which is good. I just took out a piece of paper here. So this just came out. It's funny, before you showed it, it just went in, it went back out, it went in, no problem. Again, I don't know. It's printed another bit. Now, I think a piece of paper got stuck in there. That's because I think one of the papers was used. But I will take it out and clear. But it's funny because it just did it back and forth. Just did it twice and it popped out. If there is any information that you may need about this printer, please don't hesitate to contact me at rjpacini@verizon.net. If you like what I do with these videos, please subscribe to my channel. Let's have you a subscriber. If you've got anything out of it and you think it's helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. Again, I do these videos, folks, to help and enlighten the buyer and to go over certain things with it. You're not surprised. In other words, when you get this item, you're not going to be surprised and say, well, hey, you know, the guy didn't say that, or if I left it out in my description. 9 out of 10, I usually work, or whatever I put in my videos, I try to put in my description. But I figure it helps me out in both ways. Like if I forget something to put in the description, it's in the video. I like live videos. I like doing demos and intros and sneak peek videos because, again, this is for the potential eBay buyer. And the reason why I specified all the time, keep stressing that point, is because I had a buyer, well, not a buyer, a follower on YouTube, say to me, oh, why do you do these videos, you know, and why don't you do something about teaching and stuff like that. I do some things like that. I do, you know, exploit myself into other areas, but the reason why I do this for the, like I said again, is for the buyers. And I messaged the person back. I said I do these for the potential eBay buyers. You know, if the person doesn't like what I do, you don't have to subscribe to my channel. You don't have to come back to it, you know, but I do this here for the buyers. I feel good about it. I'm an honest seller. And I like to tell people, you know, give them a heads up as to what they're getting. I don't want you to be surprised when you get it and say, oh my gosh, I got this printer, this don't work, that's scratched, this is that. I try to tell it like it is. And that's the way I am. I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Okay. The only thing I say, folks, and this is, I stress this in all the times when I sell stuff, especially with electronics like printers, the condition I sent it to you in, please send it back to me like that. That's all I ask. If it's been well packaged and the printer's been wrapped in bubble wrapped or however I send it to you, please send it back to me the same way. And the reason why I'm stressing this point out is because a buyer bought a printer from me. The printer I sent was in good working condition. There was nothing wrong with it. They sent it back to me, not packaged properly. Okay, the printer got damaged. Now, from a working printer, it's going to for a parts not working printer. And that's not fair to me because I'm taking a loss on it. I paid decent money for it. I sold it to the buyer. The buyer decides later on they don't want it for whatever reason. And now I got it back and I got a damaged printer. So now I'm stuck with a damaged printer. I'm hoping it'll sell for parts. I hope somebody will buy it. At least if I can make the money back on what I paid for it, that would be good. But that's what happened. So all I'm asking, folks, in closing with this video, if you could just do me that one favor. When you get the package, and the other thing is too, please don't wait 2 or 3 weeks. I've been having people that buy printers, they wait 2 or 3 weeks later and they decide to send it back. Oh, it doesn't work. All of a sudden it didn't work. 2 or 3 weeks later it doesn't work. It's like that. So please, when you get the printer, if you get new cartridges for it, you put it in, you test it out, and go through the format before you try it and say, I don't want this printer, it doesn't work, I can't get it to print, I can't print, scan. You got to upload the software. That's all I can tell you. Upload the software. Do a little you might have to do troubleshooting, but I don't think so because I didn't have any troubleshoot to do with this here. I just plugged it in, loaded up the software, and boom, I took off with it. Okay, so please take your time with it. Don't get frustrated if you can't get things. It's a little trial. You got to do research on it, you know, and you got to make sure you got the right settings on it too, you know. But I assure you, outside of that arm that sticks every now and then, that retractor arm that swings back and forth, I don't think you're gonna have any problem with it. Okay. Again, I go for a 30-day money-back guarantee. And when you do get the printer, please check it out as soon as you can. If you're waiting for your cartridges and you send me a message a week later, say, well, I just ordered a cartridge for it, and that's why it took long to get back to you. You know, I put the cartridges in there, it didn't work or whatever, so on and so forth. But don't wait 2 or 3 weeks. I had one buyer bought a printer. He waited after 30 days. He goes, it's too late to send it back. I said, yes, it is. I can't take it back. But I was nice. He did in lieu of that there. The reason why he waited so long is he was traveling, doing business traveling, and he was telling me the situation he had with it. I helped him out with it. I told him, I gave him some pointers on what to do to rectify the problem. He did it. He said, all is good. He goes, thanks, sorry to bother you. I said, no problem. I messaged back, no problem. That's what I'm here for, you know. And the same thing applies with this. If you need help with it, if I could help you out in any way, give you advice on it or what I would do to check it out, please don't hesitate. But guys, thanks again for stopping by. I know I'm going a little long on these videos, and I try to be thorough with them, but sometimes I just keep rambling on and stuff. So I'm sorry about that, folks. But anyway, thanks again. I hope this video helped. You take care. You have a great day. I wish you all the best, and in your printer buying ventures. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.